question first. Who of you shops online? Good. Who of you gets entertained online? Okay. Now, who of you gets shopped and entertained online? Come on, that's got to be everybody, right? Shop and entertain? Okay. Question. Who searches online? Keep your hand up. Who has an email address? Who uses Facebook? Who reads Twitter? No, keep them up. If any one of these is true, keep them up. So I think that's everybody, right? Who of you does that on DubLi.com? Ha! That's no one. So let's fix that. My name is Mauricio de Simone. I run a company in Canada called Nitido Inc. For the last 15 years, we've been helping organizations to scale up their portals and their internet offerings. My career started back at Netscape. Does any of you remember Netscape? Yeah. So we were the guys that did the first browser, and it was an exciting time because at that time we had to make decisions like, what's the shape of an internet address? You know, the .com and the dot before that. It's a very exciting time. After that, I've worked at different organizations like Sun Microsystems and Oracle and IBM. And then after that, I got tired of the corporate world and decided to go on my own. And this is where I am today. Over the years, we've been involved in the largest internet systems in the world. We handle, for example, the portal for Verizon. We do the mobile properties for Sprint.com. We work with some of the largest telcos in the world, including Telefonica and Verizon, of course. We've helped in telecommunication services, like some of the push-to-talk services in Canada. So our world is about building large systems. When I met Michael for the first time, and he gave me a sense of what his vision was, I thought it was a very interesting problem to try to build a platform to match that business vision, right? It's one of the, frankly, when I first heard it, I thought it wasn't true. I mean, just straight true. I mean, when I heard it, I said, is this something that could actually be real? But the reality is that we've gone from 20,000 auctions to 153,000 auctions in the last 10 weeks. In my career, I haven't seen that type of growth. And so it's a technical challenge, it's a wonderful challenge. So what I want to do today is tell you about how we're going to turn DubLi.com into an internet destination. Because right now we have a single purpose to go, or a dual purpose to go to DubLi, where we are looking to get entertained, or we're looking to shop, or we're looking to participate in the auctions. What I would like us to think about is, I want DubLi to be your homepage in every one of your customers' browser. When they open up the browser, DubLi comes up. When they open up, there you go. Good, good. When you open up your mobile browser, DubLi comes up. That one's harder, guys. That one's harder. Okay. I want the DubLi application to be installed on every smartphone on the planet at the top left. And I want to provide every service available in any other destination inside of DubLi.com so the customer doesn't need to look for a choice. So how do we do that? The first thing we need to do is think of DubLi as a larger thing. So how does that look like? So we have a home page, definitely, and it has to be a personalized home page. This idea of 200 million personal home pages is a key point. In fact, it's the key selling feature of portals like Yahoo. You go there, you tell it your interest, it can personalize the presentation. And that information is incredibly valuable because then we can use that information to target product recommendations, advertising, and other things. So imagine you open your browser, DubLi's going to be the home page because you're going to make sure that all your customers have that as a home page, and there you're going to get something that is immediately and completely relevant to you. How do we do that? The second thing that we're going to add is a locker. We're going to go deeper into that. mail system, a news reading system, social reader, a personalized social reader, and a calendar. That exciting? So the locker, what is a digital locker? This is how it's going to look like. Oh, I got a pointer too. Oh, you gotta fill me in on the joke. So, grandpa and grandma and all that, yeah. Swear on it. So what the locker is going to be is a place where you can store online all your digital content. Not just the content, for example, that you purchase on the entertainment malls, but also your personal content. You'll be able to upload your photos, you'll be able to upload your ebooks, and so on. And I want you to keep something in mind. Every time a customer uploads a piece of content into our locker, that is an action that some competitor has to subsidize. Think about that for a minute. You put your pictures in DubLi, your chances of leaving the portal get reduced immediately. You put your music in DubLi, and your chance of leaving the portal get reduced furthermore. The more you put into the system, the more difficult it is for a competitor to pry you away, because you need to take the content and push it somewhere else. So this idea of customer retention through the inclusion of personal content is key to what we're going to try to do here. We have to invite the customers to do these things. And if you indulge me for a minute, I promised my father we'd get a picture. Hold on. Your smile? There you go. Yeah! All right. Oh, it's uploaded to my DubLi locker. It's ready to go. Every picture you take on the DubLi mobile application is going to be uploaded directly to your locker. You can, of course, categorize your content, search through it, and of course this will be available in all of our mobile forms that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So that's the DubLi locker. What do you think? Good? Every type of file. One of the problems with these lockers is getting your information inside of the locker normally takes time. So when you purchase things from the entertainment portal and so on, those things will be immediately added to your locker because they're already in the cloud and we're just going to move them from one place to another. But you may have photos on your computer, photos on your digital camera that you want to upload. So the speed of upload of these elements are very important. And we've taken care of that. So you can open a web form and upload them. And you also have a virtual folder on your desktop where you can drag and drop your files and they will go directly to the locker. We're in good company here. We compare ourselves to Google Drive and we compare ourselves to Dropbox, which are in fact the market leader. But Michael will explain to you later how we beat them in price by a long shot. All right. So how do we bring your digital life to DubLi? Certainly, give you a place where you can store your personal assets on it, create the loyalty through you having invested in it. Another thing that's very important, and it ties beautifully to daily behavior, is that every major portal in the world has a communication offering. So we're going to give every DubLi customer a DubLi.com email address. This is going to be a world-class email. It has all the security that you expect from the market leaders. You'll be able to use it from Outlook, you'll be able to use it from the web, you'll be able to use it from your mobile phones. One of the key characteristics of email is the mail quotas, how much information you can put in it, and also how big are the files that you can move through the system. So we're going to have incredibly high limitations and market leader limits on that, so you'll be able to move large files like movies and photos. You'll have a beautiful web interface that is completely integrated into the web experience and also into the mobile experience and also into the DubLi mobile application. So imagine that as you communicate with your friends and your family and your colleagues, you're also surrounded by the DubLi experience and all of the opportunities that that affords in terms of promoting products and services under the DubLi brand. Isn't that very exciting? Imagine reading your email every day. One of the key characteristics I wanted to bring up is the Save to Locker feature. So if somebody sends you, for example, this must have happened to you, that somebody sends you a large number of photos as an attachment out of a vacation. And well, what do you do today? You have to store it on a local folder, and then when you have it there, you have to back it up and take care of it. We're going to have a single button in every email view where you can say, save to my DubLi locker, and they will be sent immediately with no need to upload. So that's very exciting. Now, we've done a feature-by-feature comparison of the DubLi email experience with the market-leading offerings like Gmail, AOL, and Yahoo. And we matched them in every one of the features, but of course we're completely integrated into the DubLi experience. So there's no need to worry about it. Very exciting is, and I'll show you a little later deeper into this, but you'll be able to associate your DubLi identity with your Facebook identity and your Twitter identity. So the personal information like the email address and so on will appear inside of your email. And I'll show you a little bit about that. That is incredibly exciting. The next thing is information. We haven't really explored the area of news, which is also a well-known daily behavior on the internet. We're going to have a news reader inside of DubLi. Well, you'll be able to choose from thousands of news sources, and that will build you your own personal magazine that you can read at your leisure. It's incredibly exciting, and of course the catalog management will be regionalized, so every region will have the publications that it feels is more important for that region. And we can build these magazines that are very smart because it will only show you the articles that you're interested in, and also only the ones you haven't read already. So it's very exciting because now if you put this as a home page, remember that's what we want to do, right? That you open the browser, it's in the home page. Part of the personalization is the information that you're interested in right away from the news sources that you like. Yeah, it's good. Very exciting. Very exciting. There are a few competitors in this area. Google Reader is a well-known one. We also have Flipboard and others that are trying to do some treatment of the news. We like the idea that intermingled with the news, we could also have the DubLi news, of course. That's one of the things that you automatically subscribe to, and also product offerings and other things. So imagine being able to interleave in the user's daily communication and information gathering process, product placement and advertising. That's just unbelievable. Yes, it's unbelievable. So right now we have more than 1,000 sources, and they will be growing. It will be completely personalized. You will pick the categories that you're interested in and the news sources that you're interested in. And over time, we'll make recommendations as well. So we know if you like this type of magazine and that type of magazine, then you are likely to like this other type of magazine. So that's certainly one point. The second point, of course, is knowing your interest in news gives us a lot of insight on who you are. And turning around and using that information for better placement of products and services is the key to basically every online retailer. All your behavior and all the information you give to the retailer is what builds up the database about you that can then be mined to better present you with products that are relevant to you. So that's incredibly exciting, and if we can get the customers to actually provide this information as part of a gambit that says we'll give you this utility against that information, then we're going to be building the targeting database that every retailer dreams of, actually. And the personalized recommendations, the idea is to keep the information fresh so that you don't stick to your traditional news sources, and we can give you other news sources that are important too. So that's newscasting. I was telling you about social before. We're going to have the ability to say, once you open a DubLi.com account, you'll be able to associate it with your Twitter account if you have it, or with your Facebook account if you have it. And that gives us an incredibly powerful tool, which is, for one thing, we'll be able to go into Facebook and Twitter and learn more about you, and that's critical. But we can also aggregate the social media updates from all of these services and present them to you as one thing. And we call that the social hub, and you'll have it, yes. And we'll look this way. So you'll be able to see your Facebook updates here, you'll be able to see your Twitter updates here. And notice something important. As you can see, Hernan Garcia there, when you hover over a person, you'll be able to execute actions against this person. For example, you'll be able to make a call, or you'll be able to chat with them, or be able to send email. So that's really interesting, because then it turns your social media relationships into an address book, really, that you'll be able to synchronize with. Is that excitement or fun? Yeah, okay. And if you download the mobile application, then you'll be able to sync it all the way through to your phone's address book. So this is going to be very exciting. This is, I guess, the delay in the translation. Okay. By the way, what's interesting about, another thing that's interesting about this is that the single DubLi ID will be a single sign-on for all these services. So there's no extra registration for any one of these services. You simply register with DubLi, and over time, DubLi will continue to bring value-added services that don't require new registration. That's incredibly important. So the next time we put another service that we think is important to the marketplace, it will be available to the user right away. So all that we have to do is communicate that that is available to the user. That's a power that very few brands have. Only brands like Google and Yahoo have such power, because they own an identity. We'll own an identity, and that's incredibly important. Another thing with regards to the social hub is one of the biggest pains in social media is to be able to compose a message that you want to post in Facebook, and also in LinkedIn, and also in Twitter, and so on. So we'll have a universal composer where you can write your social media update and it gets spread out, because we now have this connection with the identity. So very exciting. And of course, all the social integration will be tightly linked with the rest of the functions of DubLi.com. So what does that mean? If you win an auction, we can notify into your Facebook timeline that you've won this auction, and tell your friends that you've now had this winning. Yeah, go ahead, it's exciting. It's very exciting. Yeah. So, by the way, that technique is used very effectively in games and other places where if you win, if you've raised the level and so on, your friends find out that you've done this, that you've reached this achievement, and the achievement becomes implicitly a recommendation for the thing that you have achieved in, right? So now if you won the auction, your friends look at it and say, well, maybe I can win that auction. And if we get that right, if we can kind of fine-tune that, we might be able to get some virality in registrations, and that can raise the numbers through the roof, Okay. And I want to leave you with this idea that what I'm showing you today are the services that we're going to release this year. So this is happening this year, by the way, guys. And we'll put out a roadmap that you see exactly the days when this is happening. But this is going to be a program that we're going to continue into the future. And all these value-added services will continue to grow. So what I want to leave you with the idea is we have a calendar that's in the work. We have a personal homepage that's in the works. We have photo album and the sharing of the photo album, and many others that we have in the roadmap. So the message here is value-added service is an important part of DubLi. DubLi has to become a destination for the customer. And the way to operationalize that is it has to be the default homepage in your customer's mobile and web browser. If we do that, then we have Hotmail's power, and we have Google's power, and we have AOL's power. Okay? That's of critical importance. Keep that in mind. You want to talk pricing? Yeah? Well, this is, I'll come back a little later. We're going to talk about mobile, and then we're going to talk about the partner program. Thank you for your attention.